Hello, ELA 11. I hope you guys are well. I miss you all a great deal. I am having a wonderful time spending with my wife and my child. But I did want to come to you guys today because I want us to start thinking about what it is that we are going to share with the world about what we learned about our Genius Hour project. Um, and I know that for some of you guys that might not be self-evident right now. Okay, but I just want to start thinking about how it is that we are going to take this personal journey that you guys have been on for the past 8 to 10 weeks or so, and think about how you can distill that down into something that is worth sharing with the world. Okay. And we are going to do that. As I have told you guys, we are going to use the TED Talks, as kind of a mechanism for that. Okay. So just to start getting our mind around what might be your idea we're sharing, we're going to look at first, we're going to look at a TED Talk together. Okay. That's going to be today. Tomorrow, you guys are going to look at TED Talks on your own. You're going to explore your own interests, and I'll put another video together for you about that tomorrow. But when we're looking at it, what we're going to do is we're going to be thinking about, okay, what is this person's idea worth spreading, and importantly, how do they get us to that idea? How do they get us to that point? All right. So I went through the TED website. I've done a number of talks over the years that I've shown, but I came across this one, and it happens to be somebody that I'm quite fond of. So this is Dan Harris. I just finished watching this, and you guys are going to watch this in just a moment here. But this is the one that you guys are going to go ahead and take a look at. So you have this sheet here, this assignment. All right. And so you guys are going to go ahead and you're going to fill this out. All right. So I'll fill this out for you here, and then all right. Tomorrow you're going to have to do this for yourself. Okay. So for this one, we're looking at the title of the talk is the benefits of not being a jerk to yourself. Okay. And honestly, I think that this is going to be very beneficial to a lot of you, because I don't know if you guys knew this. You're actually massive jerks to yourself. And because of that, you end up being massive jerks to other people. Whoa, whoa. Okay. So try not to be a massive jerk. Okay. So the benefits of not being a massive jerk. Okay. The speaker is Dan Harris. I have his book. I use his app. It's 10% happier. It's very good. Length of talk. Okay, that's pretty easy to find here. You're just going to go here, look down at this. It's going to be 13 minutes, 40 seconds. 13 minutes, 40 seconds. Okay, now to this point right here. Okay, what is the author? I should change that. I'm going to change it to speaker. What is the speaker's idea worth spreading? Okay, you're not going to fill this out until the end. Okay, and what this more or less is this is their thesis. This is the big idea. All right, so I'm assuming, you can take this title. Okay, if you're not a jerk to yourself, you'll be less of a jerk to other people. You can probably assume that, but we're going to want to wait until after we have gotten done with this TED talk to fill this out. Okay, so more or less is you're gonna watch the TED talk, and you're gonna think about, distill it down. What is the essence of his argument? Okay, so this is after you get done watching it. And actually, for that reason, I'm gonna shift it just to make life easier for you, so you don't even have to think about it. It is going to be down here at the end. Okay, what was the speaker's idea worth spreading? Okay, all right, and um, as you are watching, so this is what I want you guys to think about. As you're watching, I want you to think about how it is that the speaker takes you on this journey to get you to that big idea. Okay. Because it's not just as easy as saying, hey, don't be a bit jerk to yourself. Thanks for coming to my TED talk, and then fade to black. It's not that simple. Okay. The person has to get you to agree with them. Right. And that is an art form. Okay. It's actually ancient art form. It's called the art of rhetoric, okay, which is the art of arguing. It goes back to Aristotle. And that's why, to this day, we use these crusty old Greek phrases to describe the ways that you guys do it. You might be familiar with these: ethos, pathos, and logos. Now, You don't need to remember ethos, pathos, and logos. You genuinely do not. But you do need to know these ideas because these three things come together, are distilled into kind of making it so that you believe something, gets you over to your side. Okay. And so I'm just going to kind of walk through these really quickly. Okay. So when we're looking at ethos, um, this is oftentimes put down as credibility. It can also be like ethics or like so like trustworthiness, or that this is somebody that I should believe that they are a good person. All these things, but what we should be thinking about for ethos is why is this person an expert on this subject, okay? And it could be the fact that maybe they have a degree in it. And that's one thing that can make them trustworthy on it. Another thing that can make them trustworthy or credible is that they've gone through certain experiences. And I think that that's something I want you to pay specific attention to when you're listening to Dan Harris. Okay? What are the experiences that he has had that makes him makes me want to trust him on this particular subject? Okay? That's what we're thinking about for ethos, okay? So it's credibility. Why should I trust this person? All right. And it can also be some other things like sometimes like if somebody is like just the fact that somebody's personable. All right. I honestly and this is a little I'm going to give you guys a little taste of the Mr. Lloyd secret sauce here. A thing that contributes to my trustworthiness is because I swear. It's really weird and I have found it to be very effective though. For whatever reason, you guys, I almost called you a bad name. You guys like it when I swear, and it makes me more relatable. And that it might not be the best thing as an educator, maybe not, but it's something that I have found to be effective. Okay, so think about what is it is making you want to trust this person. That's what I want you to think about. And you're just going to go bullet points. Okay. So just literally bullet points as you go. And at the end of this, Mr. Cruz or Mr. Cruz and Miss Tucci are going to go through this with you at the end. And you guys are going to talk about what are the ways that they did this. Okay. Next, pathos. Okay. So I think pathos, passion, again, you don't need to remember it, but it's emotion. All right. So how does this person make you feel? All right. So that's that can be a wide range of things. It can be making you feel sad or empathy for them. It can making you feel humor, okay, so that they make you laugh, okay. But how is it that they make you be able to like relate, okay? We as humans, we are emotional beings by nature. Okay, so how is it that this person is using emotion to get you on their side? Okay, either by making you laugh, by making you feel sad, by making you empathize for a particular person or thing. How do they use that emotion? Okay. Logos, last one. Logos, logic. Okay. So this is logic, evidence, reasoning. Okay. This is hard facts and figures. Okay. That's the thing. But it also doesn't necessarily need to be that. Okay. Logic does not need to be statistics. Okay. It can be just a very simple progression that you think like that, oh, that makes sense. Okay. So if I'm nice to myself, I'm nice to other people. If I'm nice to myself and other people, I'm happier. That is a logical progression. Okay. That's something that you can put down there. Okay. It can be facts and figures. It can be that, but it can also just be somebody like thinking like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's logical. All right. So that's something that you can put for this. All right. I will tell you this too. All right. Dan Harris, he is going to, not all TED Talks do this. Your TED Talk is going to do this. He does use some visual aids. Um, and I want you to think because visual aids can go in a couple different categories. And in a lot of the things that he's going to do, it might go under different ones. Okay. So he might make you laugh. All right. And that is an emotional appeal. Okay. So something he says is funny, but it also makes him credible. Okay. Or it might also be makes you laugh and it might also be logical, makes you think about it logically. So things can go into multiple categories. Okay. So I want you to be thinking about what is he doing that is persuading you to believe his big idea, his idea we're spreading. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, when you are done, okay, you're going to come down to this. Did the speaker convince you of the main point? And that's kind of personally up to you. I more or less, I'm going to change this. This is, you guys are seeing the sausage be made. All right. Because I'm going to adjust this to be, what did you take away from the TED talk that you can apply to your life. Okay. And this is really the goal, guys. Because although you guys have been on your own personal journey with your genius hour, ideally, you can use your genius hour to enrich somebody else's life, that they can take something away from this and make their life slightly better, slightly easier, slightly less painful. Okay. Or just better, enrich it in some way. So it doesn't need to be huge. It can be just one or two things. But what's something that you took away from this talk that you can carry with you within your life? All right. All right. We can then get rid of this one. All right. I do want you guys to write a brief paragraph on this. Okay. And so this is gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna. Boom, look at that. It's gone. Phew. I just want you guys to be paying attention to, okay, what is the big idea? All right. How does this apply to your life? All right. And I want you, so uh last question. All right. What were the most persuasive elements of the talk? Boom. All right. Because I want you to be thinking about how it is that you can use these strategies in your own talk. Okay. That is what we are ultimately trying to do. What made this successful? Okay. What made this a good talk? And I'm telling you right now, it's a good talk. I wouldn't pick a bad one for you. Okay. This is a good talk. All right. So that is what you guys are going to do. In just a second here, I'm going to have Mr. Cruz pause this video. You guys are going to watch Dan Harris's talk, The Benefits of Not Being a Jerk to Yourself. All right. And then you are going to talk amongst yourselves. Okay, what is the things that you guys filled out in these areas? You're going to talk as a class. Okay, Mr. Cruz is going to take some input from you guys. He can go ahead and just going to put it on the board: ethos, pathos, and logos, just bullet points, and then we'll come back and we'll see what this looks like at the end. All right, so Mr. Cruz, if you could pause it, do those steps. Hey, and we're back. Wasn't that good? Am I crazy? Okay, honestly, guys, I'm telling you this right now. I did this moments after I stopped watching it. All right. I was literally I was starting this video and I was like, "Psh, Dan, you're such an idiot," which I do all the time. And I stopped and I said, I got you, bud. And I got goosebumps. Like you can actually see them. I felt better. Okay. I am going to be using this regularly for me. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make a copy of this. All right. And I'm just gonna kind of give you some of my takeaways that I took from this. Okay. So some of the things that I thought that he did, I'm hoping that you guys picked up on some of these things as well. Okay. Ethos, credibility. This is something that I think that is he talks about the fact that his own personal struggles with anxiety and depression. Okay, so it talks about how he had that public freak out in front of 1.8 million people. All right, you can actually go on YouTube and watch it. It's kind of funny. All right, it's if you're a Schadenfreude kind of person, you can see him go through that. He makes fun of himself, so that's the only reason I say that it's okay to do that. So that's one thing that he kind of does here. He is, and this is actually probably kind of it's fun, it's funny, and it's helpful, but it kind of leads to the whole point of his talk. He uses a lot of self-deprecating humor, so he makes fun of himself. Um, and so, and I think that kind of allows him that exposure. One thing that I thought, and I don't think that this was planned, but it definitely adds to his credibility, is there was that moment where he paused, and he said, "I've never talked about this publicly." And there was them. It was a moment there, and you'll see this here in a second where I'm going to put this someplace else. But it makes us feel for him, but it also it shows us that he's genuine, and that's something that I really took away and I thought was important. Okay, emotion, pathos. One, I think it's a damn funny talk. I genuinely do. Okay, so the one that's fresh in my mind because I did just watch this is why pull the benefits of pulling your head out of your ass is that the view's better. I think that that's funny. The view's better. That was a good joke. Um, okay, again, he uses that self-deprecating humor. So like you're not supposed to applaud. You're not supposed to applaud an authoritarian. Arian. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. I think that those are it's mainly humor, okay? The fact that he makes fun of his drawings. Okay. I think that those are helpful. Something I'm gonna put in here too is the fact I think I'm gonna go back to credibility. Sorry, I'm all over the place, but I'm thinking about this, and I think this is something that makes him credible. Is he talks about his own skepticism. Talks about how he was skeptical of like, "Aw, I got you, sweetheart," and he makes fun of that. But the thing that I like about that is that he adjusted it to something that he was comfortable with. "I got you, bud." All right, which is something that I wouldn't feel comfortable saying, "I got you, sweetheart," but calling myself bud, that's something that I do have. I do appreciate that. All right. Now, finally, logic. All right, and he does briefly say at the end here that studies show the benefits of loving, compassion, meditation. And I mean, and I can see that. So that is something that he does. He does reference it. He doesn't go into depth, but he does say that this is something that is validated by science. And I'm assuming I haven't taken the time. I'm assuming if I would take the time here and I would to go and verify that it would turn out to be more or less true. All right. So that's good. All right. I think that also something that just logically made sense to me, and I teased this before the video, is that if you're nicer to yourself, you'll be nicer to other people. And that just makes sense. All right. Um, and it's something it's an old adage on the internet that you don't feed the trolls. And I think that all of us kind of have we all have our own personal trolls and we feed them all the time. I will tell you this. I went to trivia last night and this guy, again, he's made me very angry. But I did, and I went home and I was angry about it when I fell asleep. I was angry about it when I got up this morning. And honestly, what is the value in feeding that anger? There's no benefit to it. All right. It just gives it more strength, more power, and it probably reflects negatively in my life. Okay. So it's not worth it. Okay. So I think that that's something that came through as being logical. Um, so I think that also the fact that something that he did here is the fact that he did this quote unquote 360 review. So the fact that he used this data to start his process, I think that that is something. And then he used this before and after. So there's an element of the scientific process that is in there. Okay. So this bottom stuff, I'm sure that you guys can all fill this out yourself, and I would ask that you do so. Okay. But just what is that big idea we're spreading? What can you take away that's going to apply to your own life? What were the most persuasive elements of the TED Talk? Okay, and so I want you guys to be thinking about this because you're going to do the same process with your own self-selected TED Talk tomorrow. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. All right, so let's go ahead and finish, guys. If you don't mind, if you don't mind indulging me here for a second, let's go ahead and finish with a moment of Zen. And in the spirit of Dan Harris, let's go ahead and maybe try that loving compassion meditation because I do dig it and I think it is important. So if I remember correctly, he says you find yourself a quiet spot, which you guys are going to have here in a second because I'm going to shut up. All right, and you start off. You think about four people. All right, and you have to send them this energy. Is that may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. Okay, we're gonna start with somebody that's easy, someone that you absolutely you feel that way. You don't need to like falsely generate that feeling. You're gonna do it for yourself. You're gonna do it for somebody that is difficult. Okay, somebody that is that maybe you like dislike or that it is hard to generate that compassion for, and then we're going to do it for all of humankind. Okay, so I'll tell you this right now. I already got my difficult person. It's that jerk at the bar. I shouldn't call that. I'm gonna send him that positive energy. All right. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put our feet flat on the ground, hands on the desk in front of us. Pull ourselves up nice and straight. Take a deep breath in. Exhale for your body relaxing to your chair. And we're gonna start off with our easy one, guys. I want you to think about someone that is easy to love. All right. I'm thinking about that baby boy that's in the other room. All right. Could be your pet, could be a loved one, friend, parent, sibling, whatever, but someone that's easy to love. I want you to think about them, hold them in your mind, and I want you to send them that energy. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. Next, we're moving on to ourselves. And I just want you to feel if you can generate that feeling of compassion for yourself. And again, just sending that energy to yourself. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. All right. Now the hard one. I want you to think about somebody that might be difficult to generate a feeling of compassion for. Maybe it's that person that cut you off in traffic this morning or that bumped into you on your way to class today. Maybe somebody that you're holding a grudge against or having a difficult time with. I'm thinking about my guy. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. All right, last one. I want you to see if you can generate that feeling for all 8 billion human beings on this planet. If you want to expend it to all living creatures, you feel free to do so, but try to open up your compassion to every person on this planet. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. Yeah. It's 7:24 in the morning here, guys. It's not a bad way to start the day. I miss you all a great deal. I really do. Some of you guys have been sending me missing assignment emails, and I have been ignoring it because I don't want to deal with it right now. But I'm going to. I promise. I love you all. I miss you all. Hope you guys had fun with this assignment. I hope you enjoyed the talk, and I will see you guys again soon.